Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today we return to Florida to cover quite the large location, that being the one in Brandon, Florida. There's more to this location than its massive size, however, which we'll get into later. For now, I want to thank Jemmy and CEC Fan for being the original requester of this area, and also thank all of these other people for also requesting it. As usual, I've gathered information from multiple different sources, which I'll be linking in the description. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, as I have a small announcement to make at the end. Anyways, let's get into the history of Chuck E. Cheese in Brandon, Florida. The 1540 West Brandon Boulevard location opened in August of 1981 as the Pizza Time Theater, opening with a balcony stage. They opened with Harmony Howlett as their guest star. They also opened with Dolly Dimples in the cabaret area and the Beagles in the lounge room. The reason for having both is because Brandon is a giant location. Specifically, it's 24,873 square feet, which is much larger than your average Pizza Time theater. They opened with the 1981 remodel program, which gave the restaurants a standardized look. We have multiple photos from 1981 that give us a look at a couple parts of the store, starting with the showroom photos, which show off their balcony stage. And it's here I learned that early Cyberamic Chucks actually had brown vests, instead of the other designs more associated with him. They also have Harmony Howlett in these photos, confirming that they opened with her. We also get a look at their Chuck walk around, being the first standard one. To the left, we can see an additional seating area, and to the right, we can see their salad bar as well as the entrance to their cabaret room. Speaking of which, we also get photos of their beagles, which also confirms they opened with them. We also see their Dolly Dimples, confirming they had her upon opening as well. We also get a partial shot of the exterior, with this Harmony Howlett guest star poster on the outside of it. We also see Dolly's poster here as well. Around January of 1982, the location would replace the Beagles with the King. In 1982, this location received the Ice Cream Emporium, which, as the name implies, served ice cream, being one of a handful of locations to have it. With this came the Four Little Shavers, retrofitted Beagles animatronics that are a barbershop quartet. It's unknown when this would be removed. We have photos that confirm that they had both, with a few photos, including up close, of their king, as well as this photo of the Ice Cream Emporium, where we can see the Four Little Shavers. Madame Oink would also replace Harmony Howlett in 1982, which we can see in a photo from that time. You also have a photo of Jasper from that same year. Brandon would be bought out by corporate on October 22nd, 1984, being one of 50 locations to be purchased on this day. They would also receive Helen as their guest star by 1984, as all other locations would. Between the late 80s and early 90s, Brandon would receive the 1986 remodel, changing the exterior to a Chuck E. Cheese's pizza exterior, painting the walls white, adding colored checkers, replacing older decor with newer decor, and converting their balcony stage into a sea stage. Around this time, they would also receive the Beach Bowsers as a cabaret act. We have a single photo from 1992 giving us a look at their interior, where we can see some of the rides and games, plus their Chuck walk around again, this time being the late 80s to early 90s head with a derby and thumb chuck attire. We get footage from 1992 that gives us a look at some parts of the location, starting with their new stage. It looks to be in good shape, with no issues I can see here. Chuck has his red and yellow derby attire by this point, and Helen still has her Pizza Time Theater cosmetics as well. You also get to see some of the games, some of the rides, and a few parts of the remodel, such as the colored checkers. We have an undated photo of their exterior, where we see what their Chuck E. Cheese's pizza exterior looked like, with the usual sign in the center, with family and fun on the sides. In 1994, the location will receive the Operation Thumbchuck remodel, changing the exterior to a Thumbchuck exterior, removing the colored checkers, adding newer decor to replace the older decor, and replacing the C stage with a 2 stage. In the early 2000s, the lounge area, which had no cabaret act by this point, received a Studio C blue screen. No, I'm not joking. I know this sounds straight out of a Roblox custom store, but this is actually real. I know Brandon was a large store, but I find it quite funny that they actually did this, considering it was never meant to be used separate from a Studio C stage. It's definitely cool though, and very unique. I should also mention that it's commonly referred to as Studio B, but I'm unsure if this was used in any official capacity or not. Moving on, the bots would be replaced around this time with Clearwater, Florida's bots, as they would receive a Studio C stage in 2000. We have many photos from 2008 that give us a look at the location, starting with their exterior, having the typical Thumbchuck exterior, as well as red and yellow awnings. Heading inside, we get a look at their decor, plus their blue screen area, which really just looks like a blue wall with a blue screen and camera in front of it. We also get to see their stage, which cosmetically at least does not look to be in too good of shape, and has definitely seen better days. Chuck has his cool Chuck attire on, including the cap, and Jasper still had his Pizza Time Theater mask on by this point. You can also see in the full stage pictures that they had one of the kids' posters already for some reason, despite having not remodeled again yet. In 2011, Brandon will receive the 2010 update to the Kolchak reconfiguration, changing the exterior to an Avenger Chuck exterior, painting some of the walls purple, adding newer decor to replace the older decor, and tearing down the showroom walls and balcony seating. The stage would also be relocated to the front of the store. We have a couple of photos of the bots, starting with one from August of 2012, where he's now received an Avenger shirt, but still has his Kolchak pants and cap on. Moving to the December of 2012, however, we see the Kolchak cap was replaced with an Avenger Chuck cap. We also get a photo from 2013 that shows off their Thumbchuck photo ride, which is always cool to see. We get some footage from their stage in 2017, where it's not in great shape, with at least a few movements being out across the whole show, such as Jasper's strumming hand. Notably, both Pasquale and Munch have their body turns, which isn't a very common sight to see. By this point, Chuck now no longer had his Avenger cap on. 2018 footage shows the stage to be in worse shape, with Pasquale having multiple movements out, and Helen's mouth barely moving. Also, it could just be me, but Jasper appears to have eyebrows of some kind for some reason. 2019 footage is much worse, with many movements being out across the whole show. The only movement I see from Chuck here is his mouth. That's how bad things got. 2020 footage of the stage shows it in mildly better shape, with a couple issues resolved, but it's still mostly in the same bad shape it was from last year. They would also remove the sky tubes in 2020. The latest footage I could find of the stage comes from early 2021, where they may be in their worst shape yet. Sure, characters like Helen and Munch don't seem to have many problems, but Chuck and Pasquale seem to not move at all here, which is definitely the worst condition they've both been in so far. In April of 2021, the location will receive the 2.0 remodel, changing the exterior to a simplistic Rockstar exterior, painting all of the walls white, adding newer decor to replace the older decor, and removing the 2-stage for a 2021 model dance floor and video wall. They would also place in the former cabaret room another unique feature, which is often referred to as Helen's Hangout, which is basically just a secondary showroom without a dance floor. They also received a summer mural on one of the walls, which only a handful of locations received some variant of. As of May 2025, the location remains like this, still having the 2.0 remodel with the 2021 model dance floor and video wall. As for the fate of the bots, neither the original bots or new bots' fates are known. In conclusion, Brandon was a cool location to go over. Not only was it massive in size, but that size allowed it to have a few unique, sometimes one of a kind, things throughout its history, with things such as having two cabaret acts, a blue screen in a separate room, and a separate showroom called Helen's Hangout. Overall, although the bots weren't maintained well, this was a fun location to go over. Thank you guys for watching this video. Although Brandon didn't have as much to talk about as I thought it would, it had a ton of photos from the Pizza Time Theater era, which is certainly unusual for most stores to have, so that was certainly nice. Now for the small announcement. Since I'm going to be busy next week, I won't be putting out a brand new video next week. Instead, I'll be compiling all 3 San Jose history videos into one video, as not only would I like there to be one video to see the entirety of San Jose's location history in, but there's also a bit of new stuff that I can add in as well. If you're interested in seeing that, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're notified when it drops. If you want to find me elsewhere, I've got a Discord server and Instagram page, both linked in the description down below. That's going to do it for now though, so God bless, and I hope you all have a blessed day.